Hello, my name is Zach, and I like to backpack around the world. I now have a new GoPro Hero 8, which is what I'm filming on right now. My last GoPro I got from eBay about 6 months ago, and gradually I was having more and more audio problems. Plenty of audio problems, from audio dips to the audio not prioritizing my voice, so you couldn't really audibly hear me. And I've already tested this camera out, and so far so good. Anyways, I am on my way to Jonesboro, Arkansas to sell this Xbox One along with some accessories like a headset, Modern Warfare, no, not Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Warzone. I only got this because, well, I got it a month ago, and I had no idea a month ago what the state of traveling would be. And a month later, everything looks good to go for Mexico, so I really have no use out of an Xbox while I'm in Mexico. So I figured, you know what, why not sell it, make some money. I'm selling all this for $350, and that's about like 65% of 1 month at an apartment in Mexico City or anywhere in Mexico. So that will come in handy. That will save me a lot of money. Or yeah, anyways, I'm gonna turn the air conditioner on. I just didn't want to because it would probably be in the audio, but what better way to test the audio than with air conditioning coming out of the car. So anyways, yeah, I'm gonna head to Jonesboro, Arkansas. So I'm inviting you to join me. Coca-Cola, shall you? I am in Arkansas. I have about an hour and 15 minutes until I am in Jonesboro, Arkansas. Hopefully I'm not making this drive for nothing and he doesn't even show up or actually buy my Xbox. Then I basically made the drive for nothing, although I kind of wanted to get out anyways and do somewhat of a road trip, even though it's only an hour and a half drive. I used to really love driving when I was younger. Like one time I worked like a 12-hour shift at Domino's. I work at Domino's, by the way. I worked a 12-hour shift at Domino's, and then I immediately started my road trip up to Toronto when I was dating Ivana. I was a really good boyfriend, I thought. I put a lot of effort into that relationship, and oh well. But yeah, I drove 15 hours straight. I left around 9 p.m. at night that particular evening, and I got into Toronto around 3-4 p.m. so I did pretty good timing, if you ask me. So yeah, on my way to Jonesboro, Arkansas. Hopefully I can get outdoors and show y'all something in Jonesboro. I have no idea what exactly is in Jonesboro. I haven't been to Jonesboro in a really long time. The last time that I really been to Jonesboro, Arkansas, I saw Rascal Flatts, and you know who I saw opening up for Rascal Flatts? The band Perry. I love the band Perry. They are such a good band, and that's really the whole reason I even went to that concert, because of the band Perry. I'm not a huge country fan, even though I like a few singers like Kenny Chesney, the band Perry, Carrie Underwood, Miranda Lambert. That's about it. Lady Antebellum. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and quit rambling and continue this drive, this mini road trip to Jonesboro, Arkansas. I will catch y'all when I have something when we get over, when I have something to show y'all. Well, I am in Jonesboro now, and I just parted ways with my Xbox. I really needed the money. This is gonna help me stay in Mexico for an extra month. That's how critical it was to sell that Xbox One. I probably shouldn't have even bought it, but you know, I was fucking bored, I was depressed. I had nothing, I had literally nothing to do, nothing to look forward to. And that's why I decided to get the Xbox One. So I made my decision to sell the Xbox One because now I do have something to do. I want to stay in Mexico as long as possible, and let's be real, the more money I have, the longer I can stay in Mexico and enjoy myself. So anyways, yeah, I'm in Jonesboro, Arkansas, so let's see what I can get into here in Jonesboro, Arkansas. So here is where I saw Rascal Flatts and the band Perry about 7 years ago. First National Bank Arena. Although it was called something else 7 years ago. I believe it was called Arkansas Convocation Center. I'm not sure if they've had many more bands come here since then, because it's Jonesboro, it's a small town, but I'm sure they've had country acts come here. Anyways, all right, yeah. I am at Craighead Forest Park here in Jonesboro, Arkansas. I believe Jonesboro is a part of Craighead County, I believe. Just gonna show a little bit of this park, do something while I'm here in Jonesboro. I probably didn't wear the right clothing for today. It is currently about 87 degrees outside. I'm crazy anyways with my clothes. I'll wear something like this in Las Vegas when it's over 100 degrees. So I'm kind of used to it, but some cities kind of force me to wear short sleeves like Manila. Manila in the Philippines is ridiculously hot, so understandably it forced me out of my long sleeve plaid shirt, and that's not the look I'm going for, so I decided to go ahead and retire that particular plaid shirt. I do have another one that looks a lot better in photos. I'll put a picture here, and that's the one I like to wear more often. I'm gonna try to, I don't know what to say, I'd like to have more options with my clothes, even though I don't like to spend too much money on my clothes because I like to travel, and if I spend too much money on clothes, it'll cut into my travel budget, right? So you kind of just have to figure it out. Forest Lake Public Boat Ramp. Let's go over here and check this out. Hello.
Hi.
Craighead Forest Park. Pretty nice place for a leisurely walk, I would say. Who?
The key?
Oh, I
Friend of
mean,
mine's
what?
looking for it. I'm trying to help him find it. Okay, okay.
Good luck. Haven't even bothered looking down. Maybe I should do a short sprint, a short jog, even though I'm not very active enough to do that. I don't know, but whatever. Test the stabilization out at least, right? I guess I'm making a full circle around this lake before I get back to my car. That was not the plan, but might as well. I'm already like, what, 40% of the way around, so I might as well keep going. Not sure how long it's going to take though. Who knows? Who cares? Let's check this part of the lake out real quick. A lot more shade in this area. Nice, nice. What a beautiful day we are having, or y'all are having, here in Jonesboro, Arkansas. Very sunny. Not a cloud in the sky. Not a cloud in the sky. Am I sweating yet? Not much. Maybe I was not at 40% back there. Maybe I'm at 40% now of this walk around this lake. Maybe even further. I don't know. I don't know. There could be a bunch of turns over here anyway that might cause this walk to last a little bit longer than expected. I don't know. I've never been here before, so I don't know what to expect, to be completely honest. I could only be 10% done. Who knows? I guess I should just enjoy it, right? And stay at home, they said. Fuck your immune system up, they said. They didn't say, actually. They don't want to tell you that part. They don't want to tell you that if you stay home, you're gonna screw your immune system up. You need some of that vitamin D. You can still social distance. If you really want to, you can still wear your mask, but I'd rather that be a personal choice than a mandated thing. Like, could you imagine walking around this park and then there's like fucking police officers everywhere getting on to you for not wearing your mask and fining you, arresting you, and even worse, beating you to death like they did in Guadalajara? Sorry. I don't think it's that serious. But then again, maybe it is. Maybe it is serious for the world. I have no idea who is to blame or whatever, but I guess it might be necessary for the new world order to get ushered in. Who knows? But I am no longer pausing my life or stopping my life because of what's going on. I will not do that. I refuse to. That is why I decided to continue my life and buy a plane ticket, because I didn't say this before, but my flight from Orlando to Mexico City got canceled. I bought this flight back in November and it just got canceled about a week and a half ago. So instead of saying, oh, that sucks, I guess I'll go to Mexico in a few months when everything settles down, I decided to say, hey, fuck it, let me find another flight a week later. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. On June 24th, I am heading back to Mexico City. Who knows how it'll be down there? I have not a clue. If the vibe is off, there's always somewhere else, because I have been keeping up with Mexico news every single day, multiple times a day. There's plenty of places in Mexico that will be open, that restaurants will be open. So if I don't like the situation I'm in one place, I can always say, hey, fuck it, let's go to some, I can always say, hey, fuck it, let's go somewhere else. But I will not let a blown out of proportion virus stop me from traveling and living my life. One thing I want to mention before wrapping this little rant up, I've noticed amongst us content creators here on YouTube, there is still a narrative that's being pushed about this coronavirus. So I've been following this girl on YouTube, External Expat, and she interviewed somebody from Merida. And this girl is saying, oh, everything's still shut down, everything's still on lockdown. And that's easy to say from in your house. Of course everything's gonna look like it's closed down if you're locked up inside your house.
They are made fun of.
And then I followed this other guy who is very anti-coronavirus, very anti-COVID-19, all that bullshit. And he's actually outside in Merida showing things are open. So it's pretty obvious that there's still a narrative being pushed even amongst us content creators. So you gotta be careful who you listen to, because if you listen to these people who are locked up in their house, who says everything is still closed, which it probably does look that way when you're locked up in your house. If I was locked up in my house for 3 months, everything would still seem closed to me. But then on the other side of the spectrum, you actually have a guy on the ground walking around outside actually showing things are open. So maybe if you want to step outside, maybe you will see your position might be a little bit skewered. Might be a little skewed. I don't know. This whole thing is narrative based. There's an agenda, there's a political side to this, and if you're against it, you obviously look like you're a Republican or for Donald Trump or for the right-wing agenda, even though that's completely further from the truth. And then if you are for locking down, if you're for social distancing, if you're for wearing a mask, you're a true liberal. Even though, again, that's also bullshit, because I know liberals who are totally against all this shit, and I know Republicans who are for this shit. So still, I've been attacked from liberals though on my position for wanting things to reopen and being outspoken about there being a narrative, an agenda. Do I know exactly what the agenda is? Of course not. Do I think Bill Gates and Anthony Fauci contributed to a lab in Wuhan? I mean, there's plenty of evidence that kind of states they have. And if you want to go further into this, they're also the two biggest advocates for pushing whatever vaccine they're creating in 18 months or 15 months or how many months it is, or however many months it is now. Honestly, let's just start being nicer to each other, because both sides have good intentions if you really want to think about it, because the side that's for locking down and whatever, they just don't want you to spread this virus. And the people who are for opening everything back up were for opening back up because people are losing their jobs. There's almost $1 trillion in debt in Mexico. So that's really going to hit them a lot harder than if America was $1 trillion in debt, because we're already $1 trillion in debt. Trillions of dollars in debt. And there's people in Mexico that are being forced out of their homes. They are starving. They haven't received a fucking paycheck since March. And if you know anything about how Mexico works, if you know anybody in Mexico, if you know, they don't get paid good as it is. So to not have received a paycheck since March, things are very, 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 very tough on the Mexican people. So both sides of the aisle, both sides of this issue have good intentions. So can we please stop criticizing people who disagree with your opinions, because we both want the best for people. Can we agree on that at least? Can we agree that we all just want everybody to have a I don't know the word for it right now. Can we just agree that we want to give people a life worth living instead of making it very, 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 very tough on people? I don't want to argue with y'all anymore about this virus. I'm gonna always feel what I feel about it because there's so much evidence that supports my views. Like, for example, UFC fighter Ian Heinisch, one of his cornermen tested positive for COVID-19 last week. Nobody else in this team tested positive. And if you know anything about UFC and their camps, they are in very close quarters. They're touching all over each other. So if nobody else on the team has COVID-19, then how does this one particular cornerman? So the cornerman tested positive, and then I guess 24 hours later he retested and it came back negative. So what I'm thinking is, how many people have tested positive and then 24 hours later went back and got tested again? How many? It doesn't even matter if they came back positive again or negative. How many positive tests have been out there that have actually been negative? Are these tests tampered? Who really knows? I mean, I just don't think it's fair to come at me and insult me when I think everyone should ask questions like, do you really believe the government? Do you really trust the government? Do you really trust your healthcare system? Do you really? The same healthcare system that'll charge you $6,000 a day for a bed? You want to trust that system? Okay, go for it. You don't want to question it? Don't question it. Go fucking for it. And if you actually work in a hospital, I don't know. I don't think that necessarily means you are being exposed to the narrative, to the agenda. So, I mean, because if you were, a lot more people would be coming out in the healthcare industry, right? The good people in the healthcare industry. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this rant up. Be good to each other. Nobody wants to get insulted. Nobody wants to get insulted over their views on this thing. Do I believe in social distancing? Personally, yes. I'm already a distant person as it is. If you know me in real life, you know I'm not very social. So like even in Rio de Janeiro about 4 months ago in February, there was this guy who was standing literally right behind me in this convenience store. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, please give me some fucking space. So yes, personally, I like some kind of distance. It doesn't have to be exactly 6 feet, but I don't think social distancing. I'm gonna shut up. All right, beautiful lake we have here in Jonesboro, Arkansas at Craighead Forest Park. If you want to check it out, if you live in America, it's in Jonesboro, Arkansas. If you don't live anywhere near here, then just enjoy this video. Maybe look up on YouTube Craighead Forest Park and you might be able to see a lot more videos regarding this park. Hello. I shouldn't have too much longer on this walk before I get back to my car. I don't know what else I should do for you in this video. I think this is already going to be a long enough video as it is. So I think it's safe to say it's probably better if I just go ahead and end this vlog. This is my first vlog with my brand new GoPro Hero 8. Hopefully the audio held up. Hopefully the video, the picture quality looks spectacular. I've already seen a few of the clips. Sometimes the sun ray has a little thing in the video. I probably need to get like a filter for my GoPro so that doesn't happen. But yeah. Hey, this is a beautiful little area in this park. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. My name is Zach, and I do like to backpack around the world, and I cannot wait to actually backpack around the world, and that begins June 24th. 13 days. I'm as excited as I can be. Trust me, I am dying to get out of Memphis, Tennessee. I am dying to leave the United States. So 13 days, that dream of mine becomes a reality. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more of my videos, feel free to hit that subscribe button. It'll help me out. If you want to take it a step further, turn that notification bell on. And the vlog is over. All right, I am on my way back home to Memphis, Tennessee. Let's get this drive underway for a limited Bye.